You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. I hope you had a great weekend. Here we go on Monday, and the heat is not going away. Even on the first day of October, we're challenging record high temperatures across Southwest Florida. That's due to the strong east wind, some dry air and high pressure in place. Things aren't changing much right now, but we do have some clouds and moisture to the northeast of us near Daytona Beach and also just near Orlando. That's spreading in our direction, so our atmosphere is going to moisten up a little bit, and we'll have a better chance for some rainfall. Moving back into the weather picture beginning tomorrow mainly. You can see all that heavier rainfall to the north near Daytona Beach, up near Jacksonville. A few showers for us here, not many. There have been a few isolated cells moving from the east to the west at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. We'll keep a slight chance for a few passing showers in the mix tonight. No real threat of any sea breeze developing because of those strong easterly winds. That has really warmed us up too. A low to mid 90s over the weekend. Looks like we'll see some slightly cooler temperatures off in the distance. I can see that happening later this week. We'll talk about that. Right now, it's 91. It feels like 98 degrees out there. The humidity is nice, though, 53%. The winds are out of the east at 13. The pressure 30.03. And the dew point at 72. Well, the system we were watching, Kirk, down to our south is still not doing much down there. Quite a bit of storminess in the western Caribbean Sea. We'll keep an eye on that. And we have Leslie moving through the north central Atlantic. Details on that and a slightly cooler forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline Scott.
All right, Bob, thank you. First at 4, a developing story overseas, the race to find survivors of a massive disaster in Indonesia.
A huge 7.5 earthquake triggered a tsunami that ravaged several major coastal cities. More than 800 people are dead, and that number is expected to rise. Now here's a look at the widespread destruction of a 10-foot-high wall of water rushing ashore. New drone footage shows home after home along the coast there just flattened. Most of that rescue and recovery efforts are focusing on the city of Palu, where more people remain trapped under collapsed buildings. Indonesian troops are heading to that disaster zone with food, water, and any other supplies they may need. The Indonesian president has instructed the government to open the country to international assistance.
Well, right now, a U.S. District Court judge in Tampa is hearing arguments after halting the Democrats' vote for a new 17th Congressional District candidate. That vote was set for Saturday to find a replacement for April Freeman.
That's right. Freeman won the Democrats' nomination during the August primaries, but passed away suddenly last weekend. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano has been following this story and joins us with an update. Taylor.
Good evening, Jacqueline Scott. I'm told by the chair of the Sarasota County Democratic headquarters that depending on the judge's decision, the chairs could be voting to pick a new candidate as early as today. But first, they need the results of the hearing that started at noon. Chair Joanne DeVries says they are still waiting, but just minutes ago, she got word that the judge would be either making a ruling or postponing the judgment by 5 o'clock tonight at the latest. This hearing was scheduled after a candidate for the 18th congressional seat, Pam Keith, sued to overturn a Florida law that prohibits her from running for this seat too. Keith is exempt because current law prevents any candidate from running for more than one public office if the terms of the positions would overlap. Today, Keith and at least one other candidate who also ran for another seat are pleading their case to the judge on why this law should not apply. This is all happening under a very tight deadline. The Democrats have until 5 p.m. on Tuesday to pick a replacement for Freeman, even with this hold on the vote. We'll keep you updated. Scott?
All right, Taylor, thank you. 2 people hoping to represent the Suncoast in the state Senate will be in the ABC 7 studios in just a few hours. The candidates for the District 23 seat will be here for a live debate. Sarasota Democrat Olivia Babas and Sarasota Republican Joe Gruters will answer questions and make their positions known tonight on ABC 7 at 7. You can also catch the debate live on our Facebook page. New at 4, new information on what happened to a woman whose body was found by a UPS driver in Bradenton. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies tell us today there are no signs of trauma and the woman likely died of a drug overdose. The body of 47-year-old Catherine Giles was found near 70th Street Court East and 13th Avenue East in Bradenton on Friday. Deputies say they found drug paraphernalia at the scene. Holmes Beach police are hoping you'll share this surveillance video. They need help identifying the van and person in the video. Police say someone stole 5 campaign signs from a plaza on Gulf Drive around midnight last Thursday. All 5 were Judy Titsworth for Mayor signs. If you have any information, call Holmes Beach Police. In first alert traffic, drivers may want to avoid Rialto Road in Venice while crews do some construction work on the hospital. The Rialto roadway, which is directly in front of Venice Regional Bayfront Health Hospital, will be closed until Thursday because the hospital is getting a new roof. There are detour signs off of 41 where drivers can take San Marco Drive instead. The repairs will be going on until December, so each month there will be several days when Rialto Road will be closed to traffic. Jacqueline joins us now with what we know about a deadly officer-involved shooting that prompted a lockdown at an Orlando hospital.
Scott, everything is back to normal at Orlando Regional Medical Center, but this morning it was the scene of a deadly shooting between officers and a patient. According to police, the patient was taken to the hospital for a medical condition around 6 a.m. Shortly after, he started making threats to hospital staff, which led to a lockdown. Police say the man said he had a gun and would shoot anyone who came near him. Crisis negotiators were then called, but officers say when they approached the man, he made aggressive movements and was then shot dead. Well, tonight, the marquee along the legendary Las Vegas Strip will go dark to honor the victims of the deadly mass shooting. Today marks 1 year since that shooting rampage. 58 people killed in what is the deadliest mass shooting incident committed by one person in modern U.S. history. Hundreds of others were also injured. The city is hosting a number of events to remember the tragedy, including a memorial blood drive, a community prayer vigil, and a candlelight vigil.
It's very strange to miss 58 people you never met. I think about who they were, what they did. It's healing for me.
I just needed to be with people that understood what happened and what was going on.
Police say the shooter was found dead in his hotel room of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. No motive was ever confirmed. Well, President Donald Trump says he wants the FBI to do a comprehensive investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct by Brett Kavanaugh. But the president also says he stands by his Supreme Court pick all the way. FBI agents have interviewed one of 3 women who have accused Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct. Meanwhile, Republicans and Democrats are still arguing over whether 1 week will give the FBI enough time to conduct a thorough investigation before a vote on his nomination to the nation's highest court.
Once approved by Congress, this new deal will be the most modern, up-to-date, and balanced trade agreement in the history of our country.
Well, President Trump also celebrating his latest revamped trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. The pact was reached yesterday, and the president says it will be a boom for the U.S. economy. As for a new trade agreement with China, President Trump says it's too early to talk, despite months of discussions by his Treasury Secretary. Well, let's send it back to Scott with more on a complicated merger that could impact thousands of students here on the Suncoast.
Well, the University of South Florida is facing a daunting task, smoothly merging its 3 universities into one system. USF's universities in Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota Manatee are being consolidated into one. To make sure this merger happens smoothly, the school has hired a consultant and created a task force. If you want to hear how the changes will impact faculty, staff, and students, there will be a town hall meeting from 3 to 5 at the USF Sarasota Manatee Selby Auditorium coming up on Tuesday. Selby Botanical Gardens in Sarasota is on the brink of its biggest growth ever. The Gardens is planning a $67 million construction project that will include a 5-story parking garage with a restaurant on top. But administrators are also protecting their past as well. Today, Sarasota City Commissioners are expected to grant a local historic designation to the home in which William and Marie Selby lived.
The Selby House is really a focal point of Selby Gardens history, and I think it's an important tenet of Selby Gardens' undertaking to preserve its history and also protect its future.
The Selbys came to Sarasota from West Virginia way back in 1921. The house went up in 1922, just a few years before the Great Depression. It's now used as a cafe and meeting place and is well preserved on the inside and out. Here's some news you want to hear on a hot October 1st day. The Arlington Park and Aquatic Facility on Waldermere Street in Sarasota is now back open, and people are enjoying the pool there. It's one of 5 parks the city is now operating instead of the county as of today, And according to the city, a new CrossFit training area will open at that park in just a few weeks. Coming up, a Navy rescue caught on camera. Sailors rushing to save people in a jetliner that went down in the ocean. Plus, a $1 million problem in Venice. What the city may decide to do to keep firefighters ready to answer calls.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe. But some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gettle Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gettle dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gettle location near you or visit Gettle.com. Gettle's got it.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
The final 2018 Honda Civic clearance is on. During our model year-end clearance sale, drive new Civics for just $169 a month. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. And now get Civic, a KBB.com's best buy of the year for less than the competition. New Civics just $169 a month. Your last chance for Civics all on clearance is this week at your local Honda dealer.
Oh, look! A bouquet of lump-livered drolls.
We went to a real school to show that bullying should be history.
You monkey-elbowed pockmarks. What a bunch of beef-witted pig nuts.
On Monday, October 1st, let's all stand up for World Day of Bullying Prevention by rocking a blue shirt. Together, let's make bullying a thing of the past. Go blue and get your blue shirt at stompoutbullying.org.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a reporter/anchor with at least 3 years reporting and anchoring experience. Producing background a plus. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Consolidation may be back on the table for the Venice Fire Department. People who live in Venice and are looking at the newly approved budget and are talking about the money that could be saved by joining Sarasota County's fire department. Rebecca Fernandez is live in Venice tonight. How much money are we talking about here, Rebecca?
Scott, well, residents who have looked at the budget believe the city could save millions by combining firefighter efforts with Sarasota County. For the last 2 decades, the county has shared responsibility for South County with the city of Venice. And despite financial struggles, the city has always resisted giving control over to the county. But this time around, Mayor John Hollick may be willing to listen. To raise the money needed to continue funding an independent fire department, the city would need to add a fire tax for residents, make major cuts in the department, or raise property taxes instead. And tonight at 6, I'll go into detail on the pros and cons of combining these fire departments, plus what the city may plan to do in order to get this approval. Live in Venice for now, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. If you have a smartphone, you're going to get an alert tomorrow. Everyone around the country will get an alert at the same time when FEMA conducts a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. It will happen at 2:18 p.m. Eastern Time, and you'll see the words "a presidential alert" on your screen. According to FEMA, this test will allow them to determine if improvements are needed to that system. Let's check in again with Jacqueline now for a new video of a dramatic rescue involving the U.S. Navy.
Scott, the commercial jet was traveling between 2 small islands in Micronesia when that jet crashed into the Pacific Ocean. Now, boaters and U.S. Navy sailors rushed toward the crashed jetliner to save the passengers that were on board. The sailors swept the partially submerged Boeing 737 that had more than 40 people on board. Now, divers had to wade onto the wings to search inside the cabin as it kept taking on water. Officials say the flight to a Micronesian island near Guam came down short of the runway on Friday, crashing into a lagoon.
We came in low. We came in very low. I thought we landed hard until I looked over and saw a hole in the side of the plane and water was coming in.
Well, authorities initially said everyone made it out alive, but now there are fears that one male passenger may be missing. 7 of those on board were taken to the hospital. A 13-year-old boy in Southern California has serious injuries after he was attacked by a shark. The teen was diving for lobsters just north of San Diego when an 11-foot shark attacked him. That shark bit the boy's upper body. Now, fellow divers and beachgoers rushed in to pull him into a kayak, and he was then airlifted to a nearby hospital where he is in serious condition. Authorities say they haven't had any other shark sightings, since he was attacked, but they do not plan to reopen that beach until they feel it is safe. Well, traffic was more slow-moving than normal in Atlanta. Drivers had to sit and wait as cops tried to corral cattle that were on the loose. A tractor trailer carrying about 80 cows overturned on an interstate ramp early this morning. One driver was injured and several cows were hit and killed. Traffic was backed up for hours, but there is no word on the cause of that accident. Well, if you still want to go see Bob Dylan in concert here in Sarasota, get ready to fork over some serious cash. Dylan's show on October 21st at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall is sold out, and now tickets are listed at nearly 10 times their face value. Tickets are reportedly going for as high as $949. Wow. Well, let's send it back to Bob for a look at our forecast.
Well, over the weekend, a steady east wind blew a lot of the red tide offshore once again, and beachgoers have been seeing reports, at least on social media, indicating it hasn't been too bad on some of the waters there. You can see a lot of folks on the beach and even in the water at times here from the Holmes Beach camera. There's a few showers moving offshore right now. There's no real sea breeze that has kicked in, so we don't have that convergence set up, and that means limited shower activity through this evening. 1 or 2 possible showers and a thunderstorm or 2, maybe late tonight, a little bit better chances. Some heavier storms, those will be scattered too. The heaviest rain by far to the north near Daytona Beach up to Jacksonville, and that's a result of a little bit more moisture availability there. And that's moisture is going to slide down in our neck of the woods tomorrow, and that will bring us a chance for a few more afternoon and evening storms. But with that steady east wind, we always see warm temperatures too, near record highs today into the low 90s up and down the coast. I don't think we set any records here, but still close to it. And the feels like temperature at 2 o'clock this afternoon was at 100 degrees. Once again, the future radar does show a few isolated storms possible through this evening, pushing off into the Gulf of Mexico, and then fair skies overnight. Low temperatures will be into the mid to upper 70s for the most part. And for Tuesday, to start the day off, we look good. Just a few clouds around. Drop off your commute, not a problem as far as that goes, and a better chance for those scattered late day storms in the mix. Well, we have a system out here in the Atlantic. This is Leslie, and Leslie now dropping to the southwest. It's starting to, again, get a little bit better organized in time, and the system we were watching down in the Caribbean is gone for the most part, just a disturbance down there. But this is the path of Leslie so far. You can see it's been kind of meandering out here for the past 10 days now, and it's now going to head off to the south and then eventually back to the north. So there it goes down south and back up north. It does look like it's going to get to a Category 1 hurricane by Wednesday morning. Winds will be up to 80 miles an hour, but that's it in the Caribbean right now. We have 2 months officially before the end of the 2018 hurricane season. It's been a rather active one, especially out there in the Atlantic. Well, there's that moisture I talked about. It's kind of hanging off the coast of northeast Florida, and it's going to work its way down in our general direction beginning tomorrow, and that will give us a better chance for those scattered late day storms to develop. As far as temperatures go, with no west coast sea breeze, temperatures are hot even along the coast, although it is starting to develop a little bit there near Venice and Inglewood. Cortez at 89, 91 in Arcadia. If you factor in the dew point temperature and the humidity, it feels like 97. In Sarasota, the same. In Bradenton, 98. In Mayaca City and Northport, you feel like 98 degrees right now. It's 91 at the airport, and winds are out of the east at 13, and the dew point 72. Here's the forecast, and tomorrow as we take you through time, it'll start to feel like 97 degrees by noon tomorrow. So another hot one, but a better chance for scattered late-day storms come in the mix in the afternoon and evening. The rain chance bumps up to 40%. Nationally, there's not a lot of cold fronts on the horizon at this time. I checked the long-range forecast, and it looks like sometime around October 15th, 16th, there may be a front that makes its way through. We'll keep an eye on that for you. That's a long way off. A lot can happen, but that jet stream riding high well to the north, that divides the colder air well to the north of that in the Dakotas and into the upper Mississippi Valley. For boaters tomorrow, northeast winds at 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet. And a light chop out there in the bays and inland waters. The forecast then calling for better chance for scattered storms on Tuesday in the afternoon and evening. Otherwise, another hot day. Highs approaching near record highs. Only a 20% chance for a shower or two on Wednesday. Bounces back up to 50 on Wednesday. And the 0 for the most part on Friday looks good. Weekend looking pretty good too. And a 40% chance on Monday. Be sure to download the ABC7 weather app as we head into the winter months and fall and winter, late fall and winter. That's when we expect to see a little bit better chance for severe storms due to El Nino. And you can download that. Again, go to your app store and do a search for WWSB First Alert Weather, and you should be able to download for free. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 4, Martian soil for sale. What researchers at UCF are cooking up and trying to accomplish with experimental soil.
I'm Linda Carson from Suncoast View. Coming up Tuesday morning at 9, Joshua the Warrior is a little boy with autism who's never had a friend. We meet his dad, who's written a book about Joshua's brave journey. We preview the new movies that are coming out in October. We tour some great houses in Suncoast for sale, and Seafood Shack is in the kitchen. That's coming up tomorrow morning at 9.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small, so Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.
A state university has an out-of-this-world idea. Researchers at UCF created a recipe that's a simulation of the dirt on Mars. They based it on soil samples taken by the Mars Curiosity rover. And now the research team is selling it. But the soil is not dirt cheap. It goes for $20 a kilogram, and the Kennedy Space Center has already ordered a half ton of the stuff. The idea is to figure out how to approach agriculture and construction on the red planet, which is kind of the basis for that hit Matt Damon movie called The Martian. Well, we're just getting started. Jacqueline's back in the newsroom with a look at some of the other stories.
Scott, starting today, 21 new laws will be enforced here in Florida. One of them allows deaf people to identify themselves as hearing impaired when they register their vehicle. At 5, we'll show you how this change could help resolve communication issues. And tonight at 6, a shark in trouble on Holmes Beach. The FWC responds to the call, what wildlife officials are telling us about the death. And we are now just a little over a month away from the general election. Coming up at 7, a live debate between the two candidates for the District 23 seat in the state Senate. Let's send it back to Bob for a final look at our forecast.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. If you're going out for a beach walk later on this evening around sunset, which is 7:24, you should see partly cloudy skies. Now there may be an isolated shower around or two. East winds at 5 to 10. And it looks as though we have had some rainfall to the northeast of us, quite a bit there. We have a few showers offshore now. You see some of that moisture trying to work its way in, and that's what's going to be happening on Tuesday. So Tuesday, a little bit better chance to see some scattered storms in the afternoon. Holmes Beach showing some beachgoers out there. Have had some reports, I told you earlier, on social media that the beaches were looking pretty good this weekend, and that was mainly due to the strong east wind, too, that we've seen. That kind of keeps all the red tide, at least the effects offshore. And look at this shower here that's popping up offshore in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's what we're going to see, an isolated shower here. There hasn't been a lot of lightning around here, but indications are that some of this moisture right here will start to work its way in our general direction beginning tomorrow. I'll have the complete forecast coming up at 5. Scott?